Hello and a very happy new year to you all. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I thought I'd spend just a few minutes today to explain to you what I'm going to be doing in the garden over the next year. Quite a few changes that I need to make to improve the overall usability of the garden, and because I'm moving the vegetable growing out of the garden, there's quite a few things to show you. So I'm going to spend the next 5 or 10 minutes just explaining some of those to you now. Well, this gazebo has been the host of a few parties. You may remember Halloween when we had people around here and things, but we want this to be an open area so we can view all aspects of the garden without the obstruction of this. So we're going to dismantle this, reuse some of it and dispose of the rest. So we will not be having a gazebo in the garden. I'll show you where I'm going to be reusing some of it later on, but it's going to give me a much more open aspect to this area. We can sit here in the sunshine of an evening, which will be lovely. And the area over the back where the railway is, let me just show you that. It's a mess at the moment. Well, this has been an enjoyable area, and the railway's been out for a year or so now. However, we've decided to upgrade that. We're going to have an electric railway out here, and these bits and pieces are all going to go. We're going to tidy the area, we're going to relay this ground and make a nice hard standing with a very, very decent support for the permanent way for the new railway, which will be a twin track, so we can run quite a few trains on it, have a little bit of fun in the summer. But the main changes that are going to take place are further down the garden. So let's go and have a look at that now. Well, I've left these raised beds just to go to weed at the moment, because these are all coming out. I've got 1, 2, 3 raised beds down here. They're all being lifted out, and that is to facilitate the extension of the pond into this area. As I said at the end of last year, the pond is too small. I'm going to be draining that, digging here, but I've got to move all of this beautiful soil that's in here. It's a really, really good quality soil. So that's all going to be moved into the raised beds in Stuart's garden next door, where I will start growing crops for this year. So that's the first thing I've got to do, and that's going to take a bit of time to take these down and shift all the soil, but it will be well worth it. Now, because we're taking the raised beds out behind here, we want to actually open the garden up and make it a decent thoroughfare. I'm going to keep the archway, but this fence here, that is going to come out and give us a walk through into what's going to become a new part of the garden. So behind the new extended pond, we're going to have a nice cherry tree. I thought with the early blossom on that and then the fruits that come from it, that'll be an added bonus. So that's going to be quite a major project for this year. But another thing I've got to do is down at the polytunnel. So let's wander down there. Well, the wind has really caused a lot of damage on here, and it's broken the zip on this side, and this side's not going to be far behind it. So I'm going to be replacing this here, putting in a fixed doorway and making it a lot stronger. And this is where I'm going to be reusing some of the metal from the gazebo, making good supports, linking them into the side structure here, putting a timber support across the top and making a double opening door on the front, which will add a few more years life to this as well. So the whole thing is going to be changing at this end of the garden. I don't have worries with that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be one of the most enjoyable bits I've done, because I'm moving the vegetable growing out of the garden. We're going to have flowers down here. We're going to have more colour, more enjoyment, more fun, and we might even do another little project. I don't think it'll get done this year, but I'm going to get rid of the big compost heap at the bottom of the garden and put a little seated area there so that we can view a completely different aspect of the garden. Might even make a small summer house there or something along those lines. I haven't quite decided yet, but all in all, lots to look forward to in 2023. A lot of what we've done over the last 3 years of these shows is going to remain in place, and I'll take you through all of the preparation and the planning of these projects that we're going through, but also the general maintenance of the garden as we enhance and improve on all the work that we've done so far. I'm really so looking forward to this year because it's going to be fun all the way, and your company makes it even more fun for me. So I'm going to shoot back up the top where I might find a glass of something just to say goodbye and show you a couple of things that we're going to finally get our teeth around this year. Well, that's going to sort of wind up today, but a couple of little bits and pieces that I just want to run past you. Firstly, you remember the courtyard garden where we put our washing line and bits and pieces? Well, I didn't really visit that in the past series, but we're going to be visiting it this year because if you remember, I put down artificial grass over the concrete slab, and it's given me an idea to actually extend the idea of an artificial garden. It won't be completely artificial, but I will have some plastic trees, I'll have some silk flowers, some various bits and pieces, but I will also put in some natural planting into the ground where the ground exists to encourage our bees and butterflies and our moths to help the natural environment as well. So that's going to be a bit of fun. Now, I have changed the editing system that I'm using for these little films, and I'm going to give you a little blast of that with the closing titles, and you can let me know whether you prefer the old style or the new style, but hopefully the end product that we're getting is slightly more professional and will allow me to edit in a better manner. So there we are. We're getting ready to come back in March, and a lot of the things that I've gone through with you in this little brief film will be taking shape by the time we get to March. So just leaves me to say, stay safe, be kind, happy gardening, and I've got a little bit of this toffee liqueur left over from Christmas, so cheers, catch you all in March. Ah.